All right, we're live. Pretty sure. All right, just a quick lunchtime chat here while I'm eating my lunch. I'm gonna turn this around so you don't have to worry about me. I'm eating. About the other day. Let's see. Yeah, we got somebody in here. All right, turn it around. I thought I could turn this around. Yeah, there we go. There you go. That's a much better view, right? Hey, what's going on, folks? Just give it a minute. Get my phone set up here. Get myself set up here. Oh goodness, I need some shade. I can't see the screen. I'm gonna do this. Oh goodness. And yeah, working with it. Patience. Patience, young lady. Patience. Oh, come on. This is not as easy as it should be. It's not as easy as I thought it'd be. I might have to adapt and overcome here. Hey, what's up, Mister? How you doing? Thanks for checking in. Hope you're having a good day. Oh, looks like we got some mule team action in here as well. All right, folks, I'm just messing with the camera. Give me a second here. I'm trying to get it in a good spot. So you're not looking at my ugly mug eating while I'm trying to get this in. All right, how's that? That's not, I gotta, oh man. This should be easier than this. But it's a nice day today, Rooster, right? It's a nice day. I'm just trying to get the camera inside some shade so it doesn't, maybe that might work better. So I can read the screen at the same time. Yeah, dadgummit. All right, let's work with it. Hey, what's going? Hey, this isn't about us starting mule. That's not the point of the chat. When did we start? Yeah, who knows, right? I think we've said it all along. People get uncomfortable. I think South Africa might be getting close to that point. Oh, I know what I can do. I can just increase my. How about that? Brighten my screen would help, right? Brighten my screen. There you go. All right, let's try that. Oh, nope, wrong way. But it won't stay leaning forward without something. I cracked my windshield. That's a long-standing thing. That's been cracked for like 2 years. It got a chip and it just expanded over the years. You know how it is. A couple winters and go by and boom, you've got a cracked windshield. But it is a nice view today, Rooster. It's about the same, well, you got a little bit different view, but you got a nice view over where you're at, I'm sure. This won't sit still without pointing down. I need a better football stand, I guess, or something. Yeah, that's exactly, Rooster. That's what I was wanting to talk about, this New Hope, State of New Hope thing in South Africa. Not only the 5-day deadline, which is tomorrow, which is kind of why I wanted to get this in before that. I mean, basically it's nighttime there. So tomorrow is the deadline for those folks that they put on the government, that the king there put on the government. Now, I did some research on it because obviously this has been a suppressed issue. It's definitely been suppressed on the internet and otherwise. Finally, goodness. But that's what I wanted to get into. Is this has been news since like March. Once I got some links, I put the links down below. This has been ongoing with the tribes looking at this ever since the announcements were made that the government was going to seize land, and the tribes have been saying, well, you're going to honor their what they call trust obligations. And there's been arguments back and forth about the government having the authority without passing additional constitutional provisions, basically, doing what America's been doing for years and just doing it because they say they can, not actually being constitutionally authorized. Because the Constitution acknowledges the land of these different tribes. But now, in particular, there's a link below to the communists are coming out and saying, no, you have to take the land of these groups as well. You shouldn't hold back. The communists want to go whole hog on this. And there's a link below to that. You know what I'm saying? So check those links out below. And that's, there's one with the Zulu tribe. The Zulu tribe's involved. And like we were talking about the other day, the New Cape, the good, what do they call it? State of Good Hope. That king leader also has spoken to the what we would call Afrikaans or Afrikaners, the white people basically, and is extending, provisions for them as well. Like he mentioned in that video we watched the other morning. If you weren't on the morning chat yesterday, we talked about this after we got a link, and Alicia Clegg did a video on this. But this is being very suppressed. And there was a comment on Alicia's channel from somebody who apparently is in South Africa, who was talking about how this is being suppressed in the news. And the fact it's been like 5 months I've been reviewing this South Africa land grab situation. And this is the first time that I'd heard about secession, but it's been ongoing for months with these tribes saying and talking about secession. It's definitely some suppressed information, which we know the Google conspires with the international organizations to do this and whatnot. Rooster, I can get it replaced with the insurance. I just am too lazy to go to the insurance company and talk to them about it. I have in Nevada, they give you these replacement clauses because of all the damage from sand and stuff. It's an add-on. Hey, Glitchka Mob, how you doing? You trained up, ready to roll? Beef raviolis or tortellini? I would always go with the beef ravioli. Tortellini gives me flashbacks. Yeah, it's funny, Mule Team, in some of that research I'm doing, I guess they have this thing where they put a tire around somebody and fill it with explosive liquid, like gasoline. I can't remember what they call it. It's not a necktie, though, but it's something similar to that. It's pretty gruesome. Well, yes, Dan, they don't want to hear anything that goes against central government control. And like I said, the communists are really pushing the government to go forward and basically dishonor their agreements with the tribes out there. So apparently the Zulu Nation was talking about this back in March. And one of the reasons you can tell it's been suppressed and buried in the searches, when you search South Africa secession, one of the results that comes up on top is an archived Time article from like 1930. It's something Time archived, whenever. And it shows up as one of the top results. Maybe that's because Time is, real pop, they consider them one of their top searches or whatever, or they buy the spot, but that's a pretty odd. I've never had Time come up with any other articles that are that old from any other searches I've done. You know what I'm saying? I've searched a lot of odd stuff. I've never seen a Time article from 1930 come up as one of the top results when I've searched for an issue, especially when it's just current. And there's plenty of current news on it. There's plenty of current links to current stories on this South African issue. So that was a key indicator for me that something's definitely astray on the internet search issue. right? Stan, the ANC tells people who they hit to deny they had anything to do with it. Yeah. And what the person was commenting on Alicia's video was about these tribal nation people are getting hit too. It's not just white people that are getting attacked. It's any landowners, anybody who owns large tracts of land. Even the tribes that hold these lands in trust in these areas, they're asking or demanding that they distribute them amongst the people, basically, redistribution to take it away from the tribal control. So one of the things about this will be a good, interesting case study on one, any international support for these secession movements with native populations. One of the, these tribal nations are considered protected classes in most respects, right? They're the key linchpins they use for a lot of social issues to make people, have guilt basically over issues and stuff like that. But when they push back against a central communist government like this, what's going to be the international reaction? Is anybody going to come to their aid? Is it going to escalate to civil war? Is it going to get to that point? I don't know that these nations necessarily have any sort of military might. I don't think they do. They have numbers, they have members, but they're also split. And it's probably, I bet you that if we get some more research into this, if I had the time, it would probably be a split among age groups, because these tribal elders and leaders and kings are older people. And I've heard some dissent articles within this Khoisan tribe from the leader who declared the state of good hope. There are some dissenting articles of people within the tribe who disagree with him, who are different types of leaders or whatever you want to call it. I almost guarantee you they're younger. They're probably 40 and younger. And they're heavily indoctrinated types in the communist ways, probably, and we want to go along with the central government for whatever side benefit or however they're selling out. But I'm willing to bet that's the case. There's an age demographic split, which leaves these tribes in a tough spot if they want to defend themselves. Defending themselves with a bunch of men that are over 40 is going to be kind of hard. How deep the tribal relations are with the younger generation is going to really depend on if they are able to, or how effective they're able to resist with what are probably primitive weapons compared to what the government could bring at them if they wanted to. But I don't have time to research that before this deadline tomorrow, and we can talk about that more later if it continues on, if this state of good hope thing continues to move forward. The government basically said they're going to ignore it. The decree that was put out saying you have, till Friday to leave the state and leave the people free. So how much symbolism is behind it, and how much is it really going to have any teeth? Is it going to end up being static like the State of Jefferson movement, and just kind of more in, there's a flag and there's a name, but there's not really any more behind it, even though they do have tribal affiliations that are behind this? You missed the 90s, Rooster? Weren't we on the verge of Civil War in the 90s too? Really, we weren't, but things were too prosperous. People were too comfortable. Even though they decried all the stuff the government was doing then, Waco and whatnot. Hey, Adventures Guide to the Galaxy, what's up? It's gonna be if this goes up, China will have some more assets in there. Yeah, and China's building their worldwide network. There's been several CNBC articles we've talked about over the last couple of months with them building this whole infrastructural trade plan, the ocean route and the overland route to go to Europe and stuff. Oh, it's getting a little hot here. See if it's 100 degrees out. My phone's not liking it. I guess it's the bad thing about having doors off. What happened in Cali today, Mule? I didn't see. Other than I know the voter thing in San Fran, but was that a court issue thing?